What's up, Mike? How are you, bro? Just turn this down. What is good, brother Michael? Long time, Mr. Gerard. Hope you are doing well. And guys, let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I published a few key reports today, which I want to talk about. I want to talk about the macro, the Bank of Japan, what it means for a potential one last dip of crypto and Bitcoin. And yeah, I'm doing very well, brother. Family is well. We are looking forward to the peace process. Let's just put it that way. And might be a good place to actually start talking about what's going on with the war. It has been a difficult year, no doubt, because of the geopolitical situation and the close proximity that I've been. But Iran, US looks like it's going to unwind. Finally, they could get something going in terms of a peace process. But energy markets are responding to the latest Hormuz deal. I think about an hour ago, there was an announcement. So this is good. But the next CPI reading obviously is going to reflect what's been going on in the last month, okay? Possible Hormuz deal is what they're talking about. Now, regardless of what's going on with this war, we have to pay attention to the potential rate hikes. Everyone's becoming very bullish again. And if you've been accumulating and buying small chunks, obviously you don't have that problem. I think the main problem is either not participating or trying to participate all in one go. Today I did a Substack report. And pretty much, I mean, listen, guys, if you don't have bags now, okay, it's not the end of the world. The truth is, crypto can go still fall back, and but we're not talking about crazy distances, right? We're talking about the potential. Everybody's going to say the bottom is in. I would be very careful and just continue to DCA strategy, because if you look at Bitcoin right now, I was calling for this purple line, which is like an ABC type of move, a Wyckoff move here. And so far, that move has worked just like I said it would. The few trades that I've been in have been quite successful. We had the lows here, swing low. We got rejected at resistance. And then we came back for the B wave. So A, B. And this particular wave right here, 62,290. And we will push back up to $70,000 to complete what I consider to be a bull trap and send crypto right back down just above $70,000. Now, it may not be the exact level that Bitcoin goes to and then corrects from, but there is one important piece of information, macro data, that most kind of crypto retail is missing, and that is what's going on with the Fed right now. So that's where Friday's job release is going to be quite essential in terms of finding out whether we get a Fed that refocuses back on the labor market, right? You want the labor market to really break so they don't focus on inflation. So in this regard, what we have is obviously September is our next meeting. But this is what we need to pay attention to. There is now 56.7% likelihood that the Fed will raise or will hike rates by 25 basis points. If that happens, I can guarantee you now, I'm monitoring this every single day, because it changes quite often, right? But this number has to come down for us to really start entering that liquidity cycle once again. As Jim said in the group, I don't think that happens before the midterms, but US-Iran will go a long way into getting things moving forward again, right? The Iran-US war has to wrap up because at the end of the day, Iran says talks with Oman are advancing possibly, right? Because if you don't know the macro, let's just be honest, right? You're just going to get trapped. Like, forget everything else. Like, everything else can come and go. But the macro is as important as Arsenal signing Vinicius, knowing what's going on with the deal. So I'm telling you right now, the Fed is pricing in a rate hike for September, and the odds have gone up by 57%. And then everybody else is going to scream in, the bottom is in. Look, here's my plan. If the bottom's already in, I have enough risk in the market with altcoins that can absolutely take me into a bull market, right? But if the bottom is not in, I've been collecting a large amount of cash, which I dollar cost average into the market. Casper, SUI, and TAO have been my three main buys. I have bought Uniswap. I was looking into a massive trade on Near Protocol. I'm looking at another massive trade on HBAR, right? So that is what's going on right now. And essentially, my main thesis is get this war over and done with, right? Let this war be over, and then we start to enter into the US midterms. The midterm year has always been cautious. If the bottom has already been in, then so be it. But I do believe we have one last leg potentially to go in the market. That doesn't mean I'm getting rid of my crypto now, unless I'm in a meme coin or I'm in a trade, which I can easily take profit and close. Everything else becomes dollar cost average and buy. Now, most people don't think they're going to make money or make substantial money in altcoins anymore. And that's fine. If you're one of these people, then that's okay, because you've been there, done it, and you don't feel like you can hold a macro position for a very kind of like for a swing trade in a bear market. But let me tell you, one of the first cryptocurrencies I'll be absolutely focusing on, that if I get to my target level, or even with my current bag, I just need this to go back to the previous all-time high. And that is the SUI blockchain. Make no mistake about it, right? SUI blockchain is going to make you money. You know, whether you invest $1,000 or $100,000 or $50,000, it doesn't matter what you think is going to happen. It will eventually come to this blockchain. Why? They've just signed up with the Abu Dhabi government for their multi-billion-dollar, multi-trillion-dollar Mubadala tokenization program. Mubadala is owned by Abu Dhabi, and that is a hugely bullish aspect of SUI. SUI has AI agents. SUI has incredible finality. Now, there is, of course, criticism, right? Like, you've got to be 100% real with these things. And there's always been two criticisms of SUI. One, they've recently got into a no-fee stablecoin transfers. I think that's going to be detrimental. In my opinion, they need to add a way to get more fees into the SUI blockchain. The other one is unlocks. But unlocks, to be fair, if there is demand in a hyper bull market, that really goes nowhere, right? Like, it doesn't matter. The only issue with the inflation is the fact that if there is no demand, then you do have a massive, massive headwind. So at the current prices of 68, under 70 cents, I would absolutely dollar cost average into this. Macro cycle low, I mean, there is a massive order block between 26 cents and about 46 cents, but that would be where I would kind of put a big order in if it gets there. But I am comfortable with the bag that I've accumulated with an average right now just sitting around that 70 cents, just under 70 cents. So this one, do not ignore it. It doesn't matter. Like, you could get the profits from your meme coin or whatever. Just dump it into one of these fundamental projects, Bitcoin, Ethereum, SUI. But this is a badass cryptocurrency. And I do believe when AI agents are fully on board, when microtransactions are fully on board, when X402 payment settlement comes to SUI eventually, I know it's on base, but it can be done through Visa and other means. This bad boy here is going to be anything between definitely go past the previous all-time high, and about $10 into price discovery, right? So my bear market number 1 or number 2 or number 3, it doesn't really matter where you or how you drop this, but I wouldn't ignore the SUI blockchain. And of course, with the stuff that's going on with Mr. Labs here in the UAE, it's very easy to understand where the alpha is. And I'm led to believe that they are doing crazy things with Mubadala. So yeah, yo, Cave, what's going on, brother? Big up yourself. That's my boy, man. I haven't seen you these days, bro. Hope you and the family are well. Last year, by the way, me and Cave absolutely went into madness with Casper. I mean, with SUI, we did a crazy SUI trade together, which was absolutely insane. I think at one point you were holding around, I don't know, $70,000 from the profits we made from that trade. So big up yourself, bro. Yo, Casper family is finally in here, and I want to talk about Casper as the second coin. Yeah, SUI did actually do us really well, bro. We're just gonna have to run that trade back. I think you and I need to chat anyway, but he's gonna do us solid again, bro. I remember what kind of smoke we was on when it came to SUI, man. That was insane. So the second coin or the first coin or the third coin, it doesn't really matter in no particular order, is the one and only Casper. Now, Casper requires you to really understand some madness. Like, you have to understand what is going on with Entity X. I put out a tweet the other day saying that Entity X is absolutely insane, man, because Entity X right there is one of those which would potentially go but nobody knows, man. Nobody knows who Entity X is. As far as I'm concerned, right? It can't be an exchange, because I think you'd probably get a labeled wallet for an exchange, right? So it's not an exchange, but it's got to be a bad man. Like, it's got to be someone. It's got to be someone important that's willing to hold $45 million of Casper without flinching. It could be like an institution. It could be a fund, right? I would love it to be, to be proven wrong. Which one is more bullish? If it's a Binance or Coinbase, or if it's, for me, if it's a major institution, I would much prefer that, because I don't like the market makers getting their hands on a large quantity like that. That's just my preference. But for anybody who thinks Casper is dead, hold my effing beer. Like, you must be out of your mind if you think Casper is is dead, because Casper is far from dead, and Casper just needs a good listing. Yes, as a catalyst, it's got smart contracts. You have to understand that for now. I don't know what's. So ignore Casper at your peril. Literally. You don't understand the pricing. The pricing doesn't really matter right now. Like, this is what I've been. Sorry, guys. I think I've got a problem with my cam, but it don't really matter. You don't really need to see my sexy face anyway. So if you're thinking about making a generational bag, and you're thinking, okay, DXB, you've been talking about Casper for a while. What have you done with it? What's the status of your Casper bag? I'm willing to be 100% transparent with you. I bought Casper under 2 cents. I had a crazy average under 2 cents. And I managed the bag for, this was 2022 to 2025, when I eventually scaled out 50% of the bag. I turned basically $20,000 into $180,000 by selling half of my bag. I could have turned that into, into $500,000, right? Just $20,000, right? So if you look at a bag right now, right? Let's be honest here. Most people are just too scared to understand how crypto works, and I don't blame you. If you're chasing meme coins all day, if you're trying to get rich from prediction markets, good effing luck to you. Like, you can do that. But if you're genuinely trying to make money in crypto, and you really care about your money, you would buy macro cycle lows. Sorry, guys, I'm going to share this with you again, yeah? Bear with me, share this thing, bruv. Wait a second. All right, here. So we're going to talk about Casper and how you can make money without stressing about, whether it goes down another 10%, another 15, another 20%, right? So if your goal was to accumulate at the current levels, I think $500,000 is a perfectly legitimate target, but not everybody has $13,000, $14,000, right? So let's go with something more, something we can manage a bit more, i.e. the 100,000 tokens or coins. I do apologize. 100,000 coins, right? It should be quite manageable for everyone. In today's market, it's going to cost you $2,600, right? Obviously, if that gets to $1, you've made crazy money. If that gets to 50 cents, you've made crazy money. But what I would encourage everyone to do is to build their bags and try and dollar cost average as the price comes down. Now, not everyone's going to have $13,000 for one coin. That is, I take that, I understand that. But even 250,000 coins, but you have to scale it. You have to really scale it. Like, $10,000, if you're buying, I don't know, if you've been buying actively in the last 10 months, in the last 5 months, 3 months, if you start today and the price eventually drops down to, I don't know, it drops down to, let's say, 2 cents, for argument's sake, right? You're going to absolutely kill it. No doubt. So it is down 7% for the week, $700 million market cap. No trackable TVL worthy of speaking of right now. But many of you are trading leverage. Many of you are trading altcoins consistently. And a lot of you are not dumping the bag into these kind of coins. If I did a 10x on a meme coin, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to take 99%, 90% of that, and I'm going to DCA into my top 3 actual coins, right? Even Bitcoin, if you have to. But essentially, what we need to do with Casper is understand there are bigger entities. They're obviously not going to move the price like an exchange would, because they're buying OTC. But if you have success in a meme coin, if you have success in leverage trading, don't continue seeking the next thrill. Grab some of that money, put that into SUI, put that into Casper, put that into TAO. Because this particular cryptocurrency is not normal. Anybody who understands how technology works, and I appreciate that the chart is down 87%, but it's never really had a bull market. If you think about it, it's never had a bull market. This thing came out without smart contracts, and it was early Reddit trenches. And from Reddit, right, the OGs were buying this in 2022. Now you're almost at the price where the OGs kind of entered Casper. So you'd be an absolute tool to sit there and complain about Casper not having smart contracts previously and not being able to attract a major institution. It's not possible. EnterTX has sparked a massive debate within the Casper community, and EnterTX is really, really, really bullish on this. The founder is one of few, crypto people. Jonathan is a bad man. I can tell you right now, I reckon if there was no conflict, wars, association, and everybody was open-minded about the technology of Casper, I reckon this would have been a long-term, long-gone conclusion. Casper would have skyrocketed ages ago. But now, with the way the technology is, the decentralization, this is the last coin, in my opinion, not financial advice, of course. This is the last coin that I believe is of that generational ilk, right? Yeah, we can fantasize about decentralized AI, a lightning blockchain that is in the Move programming language. But Casper is a technology that is absolutely, unequivocally, and that is proven without any TVL, without smart contracts until recently. This is a bad boy of a cryptocurrency. If you were there during the the ICO era, or your early Bitcoin, Maxi, whatever you are, you have to stop and pay attention to this. Now, ultimately, you have to stop and pay attention to this. And by the way, once it goes into a deflationary model, that's, I think, when we're going to start talking real business, right? So, yeah, Casper is the other coin that I believe will be absolutely incredible. I don't care about the price. All I care about is what it's trying to do, where it's trying to go, and the fact that I can get 1 million tokens or 500,000 or 250,000, 100,000 coins, doesn't matter. I'd be able to sleep with that year after year, knowing I was here telling people that this stuff here is a different level, right? So listen, crypto is a funny business. You may not be around long enough in Casper to see it become what I think is going to become. But at some stage, you've got to say, okay, price has been shit. Let's be fair. Price hasn't done a lot. And, what's going on now? Well, you're not buying price. You're buying a piece of technology that will no doubt be more secure. The more hacks there are, the more scams in crypto there are, the more of these things you see, the better and better this looks as a complete and utter undervalued layer one cryptocurrency. So I have full conviction and a full belief that the DAG Knight is going to dominate that proof of work space in layer ones. Okay. So Casper is my other project. The other project that obviously I've been buying a lot is Bitenso TAO. And TAO for me kind of fulfills a a requirement for decentralized AI that is just never going to be there. If it's going to be decentralized, it has to be fully decentralized. Otherwise, why don't you just buy into Anthropic or OpenAI or whatever? So Bethesda TAO is a bunch of, think about the subnet as a bunch of companies that are built under TAO and where all the chain fees go exactly into TAO. Now, of course, the ICP community would suggest otherwise, that Internet Computer is better, which is completely centralized. An Internet Computer at $2, $1 billion market cap. Internet Computer does have a pretty decent team, right? Sovereign Cloud trying to compete with AWS, but TAO is the place where you can go for decentralized AI. So those are the three. But of course, if you're looking outside of that, there are other cryptocurrencies that I'm kind of interested in buying. Low caps, well, we see what low caps do. At the end of the day, very few of those have a potential business use case. But I wouldn't go outside of Casper, SUI, and TAO for now. If anybody else has a different thesis, I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, we'll keep the show moving. So on the macro front, so I did this Substack today, okay, which is the US has stepped in to buy Japanese yen. Why? So many of you know the situation in the JPY, or the Japanese yen, free falling against the dollar. And of course, the United States, for the first time in years. So there was a rare bilateral intervention by the United States government. And this obviously was designed to prop up its 40-year low against the US dollar. Of course, this was the first coordinated Japanese yen US currency, US intervention. And the last time it happened was 30 years ago in 1998. And as a result, the US is basically propping up the 30-year yields, right? If we go over here and look at the US 30, the US 30 is absolutely going parabolic. So you see, there is a glimmer of a hope with the war situation, but this is what you're basically looking at. You're looking at a mega bullish US 30-year yield. Look at that. I mean, I've been updating here since, keeping track on this for many, many years. And it's just been absolutely on a tear. And what that did, it literally just, Trump started freaking out, man. So as a result, the Japanese yen, the US board estimated 8.45 trillion or 59 billion buying back US yen, the yen. Otherwise, it would have been absolute catastrophe. But the carry trade, is it over, or do we still have the threat? Right? Because that's all it is. It's going to be a monumental unwind of the Japanese carry trade. Are we ready for that? Are we prepared for that? When Bitcoin's already been struggling, when there's the potential of the Fed hiking interest rates by 25 basis points, right? So that's what we need to understand. Is it worth being scared about this? I'd probably say no, because what's driving oil prices coming down today is to an end. Brilliant. Let's get rid of that. If the war comes to an end, then I would probably say we are going. The only thing we're going to go by is the next is the midterms. But what were the objectives for the United States? Because the Hormuz is likely to be controlled by the Iranians, and there has not been any strategic victory for the US with regards to Iran. So as a result, in order for the 30-year US yields, US treasuries to calm down, the US has stepped in to obviously prop up the Japanese yen, and that was really, really needed. But what does that mean in terms of a macro? In my opinion, Friday is going to be quite key, because up till today, we know the Fed has been solely focusing on bringing down inflation by raising rates. But if we get, God willing, if Friday's job report is bad, that refocuses the Fed purely on the labor market. So they're not going to raise interest rates. This is why Friday's job report is going to be quite critical in how this number comes down. So don't do anything crazy. Stack up your dry powder, in my opinion. Keep money on the sidelines, because nothing has been decided to call the bottom of Bitcoin, and the macro is challenging based on the potential rate hikes that the Fed has, unless we get saved by the bell, which means that the labor market shows up really, really weak. If the labor market does show up on Friday and we get a bad print, then the chances are the Fed will not hike rates in September. So these probabilities go out of the question. And I know retail don't want to hear this, because retail just want to hear, what coin can I buy for the next 100x, right? I want to get few coins. No, that's not how it works. We've already identified things that we're comfortable with, like Casper, like SUI, like TAO. These are the 3 coins that I'm not negotiating with anyone. But I'm also aware, if I'm going to buy more Casper, what the hell is the Fed doing? What is the Fed going to do? Right? If I'm going to buy Casper, if I'm going to buy TAO or whatever, what's the Fed going to do? Well, at the moment, as it stands, in 40 plus days, the probability for the Fed to hike rates is there. So I'm going to keep my dry powder. I'm going to say to myself, why would I just FOMO into the market right now? Let me see what the Fed does. So that is one way of reading and using this macro data in the coming days. So competing perspective are jobs data. There are 2 different types of interpretations in the up and coming report. So what Wall Street wants investors are hoping for, including myself, a weaker job report. A softer employment data is what it's called. And the likelihood of these interest rate cuts basically are back on the scene. That will be supportive for equities, especially the AI sector, Bitcoin, any other underperforming sector. From a household perspective, however, they don't want to do that. The average worker benefits from a stronger labor market. So the higher the unemployment, or the higher the employment, the more job opportunities there are for people. But screw that. We are investors, right? So our thesis is, on Friday, can we get a softer employment data to increase the likelihood of the Fed potentially not hiking rates? So the current focus now, the Fed is 100% focused on inflation. It's not even about their dual mandate at all. So inflation over employment, because they said last year or early in the year that employment numbers are not the worst they've seen. So we have to fight the inflation to the 2% target. The key shift will be the Federal Reserve no longer views labor market as its primary concern, just because of a few fake job reports. And the inflation pressures are being driven by rising energy prices. With the peace deal, they should disappear. Renewed geopolitical tensions, with the peace deal, that should disappear too. Policy risk, rate cuts, rates could stay higher for longer. Inflation remains elevated. The Fed may be forced to maintain restrictive policy. I have a belief that could be the case until 2027, right? I have a theory. I'm not saying I'm acting on my theory, but I have a theory that could be the case. So basically, high interest rates would keep financial conditions tight, continue to put pressure on risk assets, limit upside for equities, unless you are in a particular sector that is heavily dependent or that is more bullish, like, for example, the health sector or whatever you're trading, right? So with the S&P hitting new heights, and it's been moving sideways since May. Today, it's kind of hit a historic level. That's also another cautionary tale. Defensive and rate-sensitive sectors such as healthcare, financials, and real estate have so far outperformed the market. We talked about the Treasury. And this is the thing. Spook investors demand clarity from the Fed's anti-inflation strategy. So overall, this was just one of many macro reports that I did today. And that should give you clarity when it comes to where we are going with the Fed, with the labor market on Friday, with Bitcoin and where we are today, with the US Treasury yields, and with, of course, my 3 altcoin picks. What up, Cave? Cave said, yeah, SUI did us good. Brother is building his Casper bag slowly, which is brilliant. Yeah, big up the Casper community. Casper will 2x. 2x. Damn, bro. We're not getting any rate hikes this year, Cave said. Listen, I hope not. All I'm seeing right now is this number here in favor of a rate hike. But overall, I'm not thinking. I don't think there'll be major hikes, but there will also be. There will also be. Yeah, big up Dog. By the way, this one is interesting, guys. Dog is Dog is a silent assassin, in my opinion. You must remember that the first meeting was it doesn't care about the number if it's as long as. Yeah, true that, bro. I'm hoping you're right, man. Look, at the end of the day, we would all benefit from that. He said that the market would draw another 10%, then SPA will finish 8K. Sounds probably about right, even though I don't trust those guys. But yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. That's the thesis I have anyway. Thanks for the comments, bro. Your accent sounds like you're under Mika. And the Mika as in the regulation. Nah, bro, I've escaped the Matrix time ago. I left the Matrix, man. I would have been under Mika. But let me know if that's what you mean, bro. Legend. So yeah, man, what else is going on in the world of crypto? So I tweeted this out earlier on today. Situation in Japan. So basically, why would you need to care? Well, the last time the carry trade happened, we were around mid-2020, I believe mid-2024. And Bitcoin dropped significantly and everybody was panicking. So I have to shout out as well. Super proud of my brother Freedom. My man Freedom there. Wait a minute, do I follow? Yeah, let me follow this brother, man. It's my guy. That's my guy right there. Big up Freedom, man. So yeah, absolutely incredible stuff from Rise. And this is real. This is Jeremy, man. This is real. This is real. You know, he's dropping off food. This is what they're doing, man. Donations. So big up to my brother Jeremy and his team. 1 grain of rice. I think that is a beautiful thing. And DXB supports this project fully. Head over to Twitter, look at 1 grain project, see what they're doing. We talked about it. We did a live stream the other day to support these brothers. And hopefully at some point I'll get into this charity even more. But don't forget to like the stream, guys. Big shout out to Alex as well. Alex is a massive fellow Caspian who is in Dubai, and the US has confirmed that it will find a way to work Friday if Clarity Act passes. So the other thing is the Clarity Act. Yes, mate. Big up yourself, bro. Guys, please give us a like. If you can press that little button, that would be great. Really, really appreciate it. Big up to the community. Big up to the community on X as well. Big shout out to YouTube family as well. So yeah, man, let me know what you're buying. Let me know what you're selling. Let me know if you have bought anything new in the last couple of months. Otherwise, I'm going to have to jet out of here until we do the next live stream. We could probably get with Cave next time, man. Be great to sit down with Cave. Yeah, Cave, let me know when you're around next. Yeah, we'll do a good, a nice one-to-one, brother. Bro, I love you for that, because that's exactly what's up. They're wasting money on the BS coins. Just buy rice, help the children. Yeah, man. Facts. Preach, brother. Yeah, we need to talk, bro. We need to get you back. And you know, there's things happening out there that are more important than crypto. Oh, Lord. Yeah. you know I was going to do this, right? Ultimately, it will be crazy. Imagine being in a bull market with Vinicius Jr. there at Arsenal too. That will be absolutely ridiculous. So to all my gooners out there, breaking news. We need to do a private one. Yeah, facts. Okay, bro. %100%. Is it 2:00 in the morning? So anyway, family, we will end the live stream here. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've taken something out of my live stream. I hope you are not greedy to press the like button. It is absolutely free. We spend hours researching, me and my team. Put this all on the line to bring you guys some of the best small channel crypto content, hands down. I can tell you right now, the shit that I do for free is incredible. Maybe I should be talking myself up a little bit more by dropping all this alpha for absolutely nothing, because I want you to win, not me. I've already won in life, man. Got 2 daughters. You know what I mean? 4 cars, 5 cribs. And I support Arsenal, but just won the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? I'm winning in life. But I want you to join me as a Casper millionaire, as a SUI millionaire, as a TAO millionaire. If you have what it takes to do that, press the like button. I'll catch you on the next live stream. Take care, guys. Yeah, let me pin that as well, you know. Yeah. Grab some rice. Rice, baby. Take care, guys. God bless you all. Much love. Stay safe out there. Use my macro data. And don't do nothing in crypto unless you really understand how liquidity moves, right? We talked about how to spot undervalued projects and all of that. Do not get into crypto unless you fully understand when the cycle rains and when it pours. And of course, when there's drought, like right now. Take care, brothers and sisters. Much love. See you on the next one.